Yeah, hot news coming in late here in the Toy Boy group, you know?
Right, big news. Or
I would say
news.
big news.
Or little news, too.
You know, they're moderately sized news, you know?
There you go. I'm just going by the size of things, that's all.
Right. And we'll see. Again, their social media isn't the best, but the Toy Boys did a movie review, a wholly original idea where of the three of them, they find a movie that one of them hasn't seen and assigns it to them.
Right.
And makes them watch it, and then they do a review and discussion of the movie for their Patreon show.
Right. Oh, my God. I can't believe they're plagiarizing us, Joe.
So the movie they did this month was Hook, right?
Hook?
Yes, Hook, with Robin Williams and Dutton Hoffman.
Right.
And, you know, of course, they get into the discussion of the toys and everything else like that, and they were talking about, like, how the lines were and what they found out. And I'm like, I could have swore there was Hook stuff in previews, right? And you have to bear in mind, 1991, previews ain't what it was in 1992 or even what it is now in 1993 as we're doing the 30 years on, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm combing through and I'm like, they're smaller. I know where the merchandising stuff is. And I found, like, November of 91 where they were doing, like, 2 shirts and a poster. And then it was June of 91 where they had the toys and like what was solicited in the first line, because there was dispute like, what was the line 1, what was line 2, was Tinkerbell supposed to be in it, and so on and so forth. So I just like took the page that was scanned and I'm like, this is from merchandise catalog June of 91, you know, so on and so forth. And I probably won't get a reply. Their social media isn't the best these days. Right. But again, they got a lot of irons in the fire, you know.
Right. Who doesn't, though, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I got like 2. I got 2 fires. I got 2 irons, you know?
I feel like everybody's pissed on my irons.
Oh, my God.
So I'm kind of not fire, you know. Right now, I'm just, you know, living my life to the best I can.
Yeah, well, listen, things are turning around here. You know, we're going to hopefully plan our trips for the back half of 2023. Here soon, shortly, hopefully, maybe. And just, you know, kind of like, you know, okay, definitively, because we're doing New York again for a Pokemon thing in August. And then we're doing Universal in October. And we're kicking the tires on whether or not we're doing Florida or California. We just got to weigh the options on the prices, you know?
Right. You're rich. You could do both.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you're hardcore. You'll take them both, Joe.
Come on now. Well, there have been emergencies, you know, but it's money that we've been more or less sitting on for the last 3 years, you know, pre-pandemic, where we were going to go on the trip. And then now here we are, like the trip is among us. The New York one is no big deal. Like we literally could just do like a day trip.
Right.
And that's what we'll probably end up doing.
Is that what you did last time, the day trip for Pokemon? Okay. Yeah. You didn't stay. I couldn't remember if you stayed or not.
Because I was kicking the tires on maybe staying, because it's technically like a 3-day event. But I think by like, it's, and again, to get too deep into the thing, it's like you sign up for like 4-hour, like different 4-hour blocks depending on the day. It's like Friday 9 to 1, Friday 3 to 7, Saturday 9 to 1, 3 to 7, Sunday, same thing, right? There's 6 different groups that you would be in. And like, I think if we did like one group on one day, we'd be burnt out to do it a second day.
Right.
Because 4 hours of Pokemon is a lot of Pokemon.
Some would say 4 hours too many of Pokemon.
Right. Some people would say it's 5 hours too many. But
that's right.
Right. And you'll enjoy this as someone who deals in these sort of circles. And when I say that, you're going to scratch your head, but you'll know what I mean when I say this. So we got my wife's car back today.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great. Everything's perfect. You know, my wife was worried that it wasn't going to look exactly the same.
Right.
It took them a week to do everything. It was a whole issue where, and I've dealt with this on a little bit more of a personal level, and obviously more so on this level where it's directly affecting us. Ace's one little friend runs a garage, which reminds me I got to go schedule my appointment tomorrow now that we have the second car back. Anywho, where with the newer cars, they just have like a computer or a computer that they punch the VIN number into, and they pull up whatever the part is, and then like that's the part I need to order. That's the part I need to order, whatever it is, right? So they do that through that system, through the computer, through whatever it is. And like, these are guys that have been doing this for like, some people have been doing it for like 15, 20 years. And other guys like this guy that we took our car to, he's been in business for like 40 years. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, they like to do things the old way, but you're getting new cars in there. You got to change with the times and so on and so forth. So they had to get like a filament or something for the light bulb for the headlight. And they sent the wrong one. So, like, now that add, like, an extra, like, 2 days on to us getting our car back because, like, okay, we get the thing, we go to put it in, doesn't work. Now I got to go find out why you sent me the wrong one. Did I fuck up and order the wrong one? No, I ordered this and you sent me that. You need to send me this, the one that I ordered, right? So, Anywho. So that's what added extra time. The guy calls me today, it's ready. Okay. And I go, okay, and we have our money ready to go for the deductible, right?
Right.
Because, this was our fault and... whatever, no damage was done to the other party, more on injuries, hopefully not later. But I go, I got the money ready to go for the deductible and everything else like that. He's like, nah, you don't need to pay the deductible. I go, okay. And he goes, yeah, we did a little, robbing from Peter to pay Paul, so you don't owe us anything. I go,
whoa. Yeah, a little running a little opportunity over there.
I don't ask no questions. Listen, I had the cash in hand ready to go up there and get the car. And when he said that to me, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell Todd. Like, that's a Todd story.
Right there. It's like, no, we don't. We did a few things. All right, I'm out. No questions.
Yeah, listen, you've said too much.
Right. The more I ask, the more I become an accessory after the fact.
I become complicit in whatever you did to Peter. And I guess I'm Paul in this scenario. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know I don't know who I am, and I don't want to know who I am.
Did I ever tell you the story about free cars with my grandfather?
No.
Okay, so my grandfather wasn't like, he had like that side of my family had a little bit of money, but they ran in circles with people in power and or money. And maybe one side of my family's a bit shady, as I've told the stories, right? Okay. Like they went into business with people, and my father would tell the story. Yeah, they went into business with people, and my mother, would do the books, and they'd have all these like big wallets, and they'd, all get in and invest in this thing, and nobody ever made any money. Well, we made money because my mother was doing the books, he goes, but nobody else made money. So he knew lawyers and doctors. My grandfather knew everybody. So he was friends with the family physician. And what they would do was he would buy cars and then get the medical insurance on it. And then 5 or 6 payments in, his friend would classify him whatever, and the insurance would pay off the car. And he got a couple of cars this way. And then finally the doctor told my grandfather, that's the last car, George. You've had 4 heart attacks. I can't do it anymore. It's like, you'll be in the ground. It's like, we're done. So I remember the last car they had, and they ended up giving it to my mother when my father and mother divorced. My grandfather was like, you can have this car. It was like I forget what it was. It was like a station wagon K car. But that always stuck with me. You can't have any more heart attacks. No more free cars.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my family run a ton of opportunities, but I don't say them on here because I don't know the statute of limitations on stuff,
Well,
I've seen a lot of Law and Order. If you do certain things, it's an ongoing crime and the clock starts over again. Trust me. Jerry Orbach and me, we go way back.
So, not that I have any first-hand knowledge, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say second-hand knowledge.
Right.
Depending on the state, the investigations can go anywhere from 3 to 10 years.
Right.
I think Pennsylvania's a 7-year state.
Okay, well, let's put it this way.
I think.
let's put it this way. My grandfather died in 91.
Okay. So, they can't, it's been 30 years plus. Everything's okay, right?
Yeah. I mean, actually, I saw all this on a TV show.
Okay. What you say, Todd, is after you say a statement like this, you say allegedly for entertainment purposes.
Only, yes.
Right. That's how these stories that we tell on here
are dramatizations, yes.
Right. Listen, the writer's strike may be happening, but we might have a few scabs putting Post-it notes on the flying joke wheel and sending them over to us,
We've been picking those scabs, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But that's it. That's what's going on here. Like I said, so I got no problems. I got no complaints. I'm glad, it was only a week, but only having one car for a week,
Well, that's all I have is one car, so.
Well, you're only one person.
Well, that's true.
I'm at least two people.
Right. Did you sew two cars together?
No. Even though I do have the baby car and my wife hates it. She's like, your car's too small. And how the hell do you think I feel? Anyway.
Right. You're like a slender reed of a woman. And here
exactly.
I am. But now, is it that bad with the fact that you don't have to go to drive to work, that you could super secret science right out of your, house?
Right. So that's not an issue, but it was when Wednesday of last week came along and I couldn't go get my comics until Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Friday, it's okay, I got to go drop her. I got to be up early, even though I could have slept in because I was off. I got to go drive April to work, come home, go uptown to go get my comics, and then, come back, but make sure, we're going to go run to the Pierogi Festival. If you listen to the Patreon show, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Go get sick at the Pierogi Festival. Right. You need to make sure that you get all that stuff done by a certain time, because now we got to be there by 5 o'clock to go pick up, April from work. And then Saturday, we went around, did whatever it was. But it wasn't just so bad, but it just, I think obviously if I was still working in an office as opposed to working from home, it would have been a different situation. But it was just that minor inconvenience of not being able to go get my comics on a Wednesday,
Right. Oh, there's nothing worse. So now, because we've been around the board and I forget a lot of things, you have the car now.
Yep. Picked it up today.
So that means you'll be getting your books tomorrow instead of having someone pick them up for you.
No, because Asa has a dentist appointment.
Oh.
And his dentist is up that way. And I think his appointment is for 2. So while they're up that way, instead of them going all the way up there, coming home, and then when I'm done with work, me driving back up the same way, literally where they just were. I think he's in that medical arts building that's on the same street as Dave's.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's literally where the dentist is. So it's, they're right there. They're just going to go pick up my books.
Right. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Which is fine. I'm going to probably take a nap or organize comics or do something,
Right.
And then last but not least, after no less than 2 delays, my Blu-ray player finally came on Monday.
Oh.
After being delayed a week for whatever reason. I don't know what the hell they were doing with it. But once it was there, now I was able to go and get all the wires that were out of there. I'd started on Saturday. Excuse me. We still had a coaxial cable and a telephone cord from when we had DirecTV that were back there.
Right.
So it was just pulling all that shit out of there, just tossing them, get these out of here. Just get a bag so we can throw them away. Keeping the old VCR. I don't know why. I already have 2 VCRs in the basement that don't work, that traveled with me from when I lived with my folks. However many years ago it was when I moved out in 2005. Do I need a third VCR DVD combo downstairs? Sure, why not, right?
Right. You might tape trade again. You never know.
You never know. So that went downstairs, and then the Xbox 360, which I don't think we've played in 2 years. Mm-hmm. I don't think they even make games for it anymore. I don't think any of this. I know the disk drive on it was busted because we would use that as our DVD player, and then that stopped reading discs, and we're oh, that might be shot. So that and all the games and accessories and Connect and all the other jazz for that all got bundled up and put in a box in the basement with the PlayStation 2 stuff that I have.
Right.
GameCube stays upstairs. The second docking station is up, but the problem is, even though I have like a nice TV, it's not a brand new TV, so there's only 2 HDMI ports on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we currently have minimally 4 things that have to HDMI into it.
Right.
And if I do my gazintas, that's too many.
I have a switcher here for you.
Switcher's coming in the mail on Wednesday.
I would have gave you one free. Oh my God.
It was $12, you know?
Yeah, but that's $12 more than free, Joe.
I guess. I appreciate that. I could have got a free Blu-ray player from Brett up the road from Wings on Wings and We Need Wrestling, but we discussed that here, that his free Blu-ray player, which was a PlayStation 4, would become my son's PlayStation 4, which is what I was attempting to eliminate from happening, you know?
Right, gotcha.
But yeah, like I said, you know, I organized some comics today. I went and got my kid the Grimace Shake.
I don't know about that.
Or do you know who the Grimace is?
Yeah, I understand that, but I know of the Shamrock Shake. I've never heard of the Grimace Shake. Is it like grape because it's purple?
Okay, so this week, yesterday, actually Monday as we record this, was Grimace's birthday.
Oh.
And to celebrate Grimace's birthday, they're doing like a whole bunch of like little things with it. Like they're making a whatever summer shenanigan out of it. There's like a Grimace game, and there's a this and there's a that. And if you go and buy the Grimace meal, which is either like the Big Mac meal or the 10-piece nugget meal, you could also get the Grimace Shake with it as well. Now, again, I think you can just go and order the Grimace Shake anyway, but listen, I'm playing along with whatever it is, right?
Right.
So they were showing pictures of it, and it was a purple shake. And people were wondering for weeks, is this just going to be like a vanilla shake that's like colored purple, or is it going to have some sort of berry flavor? And it does have a berry flavor, so people are very happy about that.
Good. I was worried.
Yes. There's a guy. Let me give him a shout out. We got shout outs on the main show, but I like giving this guy a shout out. If you are a fast food person, and we do talk, food and stuff on these all the time. It's Mick MC Franchisee, Franchise. He is a owner operator of a McDonald's, and he kind of leaks things out ahead of time through like the cover of anonymity.
Right.
Like he had like the taste test up of the whatchamacallit, the shake like a week in advance. He's just like it's a very interesting follow if you're a fast foodie, you know?
Right. He's fast food words.
Words is doing well, by the way. He sends his regards.
Good. Right. Well, I'm talking to him right now. Anyway, but go ahead.
But yeah, so it's not so much fast food words, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Hopefully
but yeah, so he was the one who did the taste test on it, and he's like, just to set everyone's mind at ease. And it was, I forget what other, like, it was some sort of weird scam, like, video site where he posted the Grimace birthday commercial on there, like, a week in advance before it was, like, rolled out, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. You think Long John Silver's would have all the pirated stuff. Get it?
You would think so. Hey, listen, this guy replies to me. And I would say McDonald's a little higher on the food chain, if you will, than Long John Silver's. And I've tweeted dozens of times at Long John Silver's, and they don't reply nothing back to me, no how.
Right. They're intimidated by my fish mouth.
Oh, that's what it is. I think they're just circling the lawyers to figure out how they can sue us over the shirt, you know?
Right. And now they'll have stuff with the free cars to use at trial for what my ethics are.
Exactly. So nothing else doing with you? Everything's going good?
Everything's going good other than playing way too much Grand Theft Auto. I'm doing nothing. But I think, I say sitting on a couch playing Grand Theft Auto isn't healthy for you. But when you play so much of it, you don't eat for 3 days. I think it all evens out.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, so maybe, I'll shed a few pounds just by melting into the couch.
Now, have you bought a gamer chair yet?
No, but I'm thinking about it, so my lower lumbar will be comfortable while I play.
And they're usually not made out of wood. They're usually like made out of like this polyurethane material.
Right. I want something that's form-fitting to my curves, Joe.
Possibly a beanbag chair.
Yes, maybe something with memory foam that will hate all its memories after I sit in it.
But I'm glad you and Adam are playing the game. He did tell some stories on how he gently ribs you in the game over on At Odds with Wrestling.
Oh, would that be when he blows me up?
Yes.
But did he also say that I'm pushing the boundaries of his patience when we play?
It doesn't sound like the Adam I know. He's usually
just calm and cool the whole way.
Yeah, rolls with punches. Yeah.
I'm not a gamer. I'm not. So when I play, right, like a lot of times I could play for 20 minutes and be like, okay, in the car, this is everything the buttons on the car do. And I know you're an old and you like your Atari with one button, one joystick.
Right.
I'm almost the same, but I've gone into PlayStation 5. So I'll play. I'm like, okay, this is for go forward with the car. This is for backward. This is to shoot out the window. This is to do this. This is to do that while I'm driving. Then if we do a cut scene or I have to get out and run around, when I get back in the car, I have to remember everything again. So like I'll push the thing and I'm like, oh, I'm going backwards. Oh, I'm going forward. I'm doing this. Oh, I crashed. I'm driving too fast. And he'll just be like, you could slow down. And I'm like, oh, I'm going as fast. I don't care. I got nowhere to be. And then a couple of times, like he was like, you're pressing L2 to land the helicopter, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm working on it. And I could tell that I get his dander up, if you will.
I think it's because Adam's a young.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to us, let's say. How about that?
And he has to walk me through everything. I'll be, well, what button do I have to push to set this up where you're part of my executive thing so you can get experience points? Like, press this button, press that button. I'm like, okay, I'll try and remember that, and I'll hold on to that for a little while, but then it'll make me learn 3 more things, and I'm like Kelly Bundy. Only so much information can go in before some spills out. So, it's a constant learning curve.
That I was gonna say, like that time that you took that homemade winemaking course.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm the same way, and it's difficult. Like, obviously, you're attempting to explain it to someone in their late 30s,
mm-hmm.
where I try to explain it to my 11-year-old.
Oh boy!
Right, where it's just I never played video games while that sort of controller sort of thing was happening, like the way that you move your characters. And because like I had like a 15-year gap where I didn't play video games and then trying to pick things back up, like I just don't have the motor skills and like my mind doesn't work that way. And I could do it if you tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't play every day and
right.
you're there to tell me what to do every day for like a week, and then by the second week I got it, but then if I take a day off, we got to start all over again. It's just the way that my mind and my motor skills work at 46 or whatever the hell I am, that I just can't do it.
No, I'm with you, because at one point, like, we do heists together, and it's like, okay, and they literally say, all right, I started the heist, so I'm in charge. Now I have to decide what people get of the cut of the fucking money. Yeah. Like, literally. So I'm like, oh, and I can't figure it out. I'm pushing all these buttons, and he's like, that cut ain't going to work. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because it's 85-15, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I can't do it, and it's timed. Like, you have to figure all this out in 30 seconds, or it's going to go into the thing automatically. And I'm like, Joe, I don't know if you know this. I don't do well under pressure.
No, that's correct. Yes.
So I kind of like flake out and then whatever. But you know what they say? No pressure, no diamonds, Joe.
Oh, I guess no video game pressure, so no video game diamonds from the heist.
Right. All I need is Queen under pressure playing in the background the whole time.
No, well, we can't do that on the podcast because we'd have to pay a licensing fee.
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad I'm glad Adam finally convinced you to play, and I'm sorry that he's bullying you.
Yeah, I've been cyberbullied by Adam.
Mm-hmm.
It's an epidemic, I hear.
Yes. All right. Well, hey, everyone, thanks for listening to episode 448 of Longbox Heroes After Dark. You know, the patreon.com/Longbox Heroes, the TeePublic store, the eBay affiliate link, all the ways that you could support us. But just, you know, tell a friend, retweet when the show goes up, that sort of thing. Let people know what we're doing. You know, if you enjoy what we're doing, I'm sure somebody else might. You know, all it takes is just one extra person.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.